Good morning, everybody. Let me welcome you all at the conference NSK from Kapital to Capital, Neue Slowenische Kunst, an event of the Final Decade of Yugoslavia. I would especially like to extend my greetings and also express my gratitude to the speakers that accepted our invitation to participate. I would also like to welcome and thank Eda Čufer, her collaboration on the concept of this conference. My thanks go also to my colleagues from Moderna Galeria, who helped this conference become real. Adela Železnik, Andrea Brus, Ida Hischenfelder, Tomasz Kučer, and Marko Rusjan. The conference is part of five-year program, The Uses of Art, the Legacy of 1848 and 1989, organized by Internationale, as we say. It is supported by the Ministry of Culture of the Republic of Slovenia, the European Union Cultural Program, and the Foundation for Arts Initiatives. Eda Čufer and I have conceived the conference to highlight, similarly as do the exhibition and the book that is coming this summer, not only the legacy of the NSK collective, but also its current significance. For this reason, we have invited those who have been following NSK from the beginning, as well as some foreign and younger writers to bring their experience and their diverse interpretations to the project. As the title of the project indicates, we wish to shift the attention away from the stereotype of associating NSK exclusively with socialism to the broader global processes that were already at work at that time. It is probably unnecessary to stress that NSK was not involved in the critique of socialism as such, that is, the idea of socialism. What lay at the focus of NSK's interests was, rather, the non-functionality of the system that was in place in Yugoslavia in the 80s and its inconsistencies. NSK's over-identification with the system demasked its inconsistencies and its non-functionality, and consequently its inability to resist being overpowered by Western capital. Before giving the floor to Eda to present the conference in more detail, allow me to briefly introduce you our exhibition and with it hopefully stimulate our 2 days of discussion in this way. So let me outline in short how the exhibition reflects its title, its concept, display, design, and dramaturgy of space. At the entry to the exhibition, hopefully you've seen the exhibition already. If not, of course, after the conference today, we are going to see each other. So at the entry to the exhibition, there is the NSK organigram from 1986 on the wall. And on the wall opposite, the narrative of the 80s conceived by Tomasz Masnak. While the NSK organigram speaks about the end of symbolic order and the need to devise one's own rules and to self-organize, which in a way foretells the NSK state in time. Masnak's narrative presents some of the key local and global social and political events as they related to the expanding global capitalism that was beginning in the processes of disintegration of the state. Of course, NSK never directly or unambiguously addressed these socio-political dynamics. NSK was not dissident art, and we would be amiss to see its significance merely in relation to any particular social order. NSK aimed deeper at the root of manipulation from the position of power, at the universal human need of an external master on which every ideology is built. Thus, also the term capital means more than just transition to capitalism, which the three founding NSK groups, Laibach, Irwin, and Theater Scipio Nasice, at that time, at the beginning of the 90s, called Cosmokinetic Cabinet Nordum. So the founding groups marked their respective projects entitled Kapital from the early 90s. It also means the accumulated, so the capital also means the accumulated pain and trauma that power uses for manipulation, and also the symbolic capital that is the precondition for entering a more equitable international dialogue. And last but not least, NSK itself is its own capital, accumulating the energies of its consistent groups and members to become a virtually autonomous organism, no longer controllable even by the NSK collective itself, let alone by any individual member or group. This was the NSK I wanted to capture as the exhibition curator. The NSK most radically without an author, originating in the interspace between its members, the audience, the powers that be, the parallel public sphere of the time, NSK as the production of the commons. While the large central room presents together some of the common NSK themes, the individual groups are also presented separately in their own rooms. There, their work is organized about public events. The reason for this is to foreground the NSK art came into its own only as public event, and was as such always open for incursions of another, that is to say, of something that ruptured with non-conflictual continuity of its work. In the case of Laibach, the ruptures resulted from its provocations and its strategy of shock. Laibach factored in the incursions of another and expanded its membership to an arbitrary number of so-called sub-objects within its quadruple principle, Eber, Saliger, Keller, and Dachauer. For Scipio Nasice's sister theater, rupture was part of its long-term plan, included already in its founding act. Every subsequent change in its work was marked by a renaming. Thus, the initial Scipio Nasice's Sisters Theater became the Cosmokinetic Theater Veci Pilot, and finally the Cosmokinetic Cabinet Nordum. The renamings followed the self-reflection on work and work at the same time also as a theme in the work, most notably so in the production Baptism under Triglav. In the case of the Irving group, rupture related to disrupting the state of affairs in the local art system and thus the broader space, and to the dynamic of their own collective work, including its conflict nature as well. NSK art thus always happened in real time, organizing and reorganizing variants of group dynamics, be it within the collective or with its audience, the Ljubljana alternative cultural scene or the authorities. Thus, it kept raising the awareness of the commons over and over again. It was this thinking that commons that was the focal point of my interest in the exhibition, and that is why I have organized it around various events, so that faithfulness to the idea of the commons could be retroactively revealed. This idea of the commons lies in the production of the commons through various ruptures, through discontinuities that are opposed to the ideology of the commons, as for example any national identity based on unproblematic continuity. With its interest in such ruptures, the exhibition traces this faithfulness to the idea of the commons, thus presenting NSK as an event in the Badovinac sense of the word, as it is indicated already in the exhibition title, which describes NSK as an event of the Final Decade of Yugoslavia. So I would like to invite Eva to introduce the conference.